All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We are playing more Fragged Empire tonight, continuing our Infinite Spaces campaign. We used to be 5, we're now 4, because Zhou talked some shit, and we have now eliminated him.
This is what we rotate through. Who is the shit talker in the group? Yeah. First it was Jeremy.
What are you trying to say, Melissa? What are you trying to say?
Oh, no.
I'm just saying we have a theme.
Don't think because I'm contractually obligated to live with you that you're making it on stream with that kind of attitude. Just saying. Anyhow, we're back. We're playing some more. I love this game. This game's silly. But we're gonna do a fun little heist night probably. Jill will be back next time around, so we'll be good to go. Him and Boris are off talking about fungi and bacteria together somewhere on the ship. They're just really geeking out about it. So that's that. But yeah, so also we got a little giveaway tonight in the spirit of giving. We've been doing a lot of giveaways on the channel, and MyTrace supplied this one. In fact, one of MyTrace friends has made themselves a game a game setting, I should say, Seta, the Pirate Republic of the Oort Cloud, system agnostic setting book, space-based kind of campaign, so it sort of fits a little bit of what we're doing here. Set on an outlaw colony. It's got a bunch of different lore, characters, factions, rollable tables, all that kind of stuff that GMs like to use. We're going to drop some links in the chat about it, and if you're watching this later on YouTube, you can check the show notes and you can find a link over to Drive-Thru where you can purchase it. We're going to be giving away a PDF copy of that tonight, later in the stream, and one big thing to note is that if you don't win, still consider going over the Drive-Thru, because every purchase over on Drive-Thru actually goes to a charity organization, 826 DC, which is a charity that encourages creative writing in kids and teens in DC. So take a look. I'm sure one of them, probably not me, one of them will probably spam the giveaway function in chat. So we can actually kind of just start loading those in. Let me get it ready for you all so that if you want to just start entering in like right now, you can start entering it in. And then sometime later in the session, we will go ahead and rip the rip doesn't make sense. Pull the correct winner, something like that. We're going to rip the winner.
Somebody's going to win.
Blade.
I am an English teacher for a living. I am good with words.
But the semester's over, so
That's true.
And you really only have to be good with other people's words.
That's how I feel.
It's fun.
There's an old saying with teaching that those who can't do teach. I prefer those who are too lazy to do teach and tell other people why their stuff's not good enough to do it. And that's basically my life. That's what I do. That's not. Anyhow. And yes, Jeremy, yes, don't have shame. You can enter hashtag space pirates, or as Steven would say, # space
pound sign.
Pound sign.
The correct way.
Yeah, hit that pound sign.
Get that pound sign.
Pound those space pirates.
All right. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's do some intros, and then we'll see where this night takes us. So, Jeremy, could you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Could you introduce the one, the only Dr. Toronto?
Oh, Dr. T, Dr. McSteamy, Dr. T to the max. He's the tentacled maestro of medicine. God, he's so handsome. He's so smooth. Sure, he likes to add a few random little digits on you here and there, but he gets the job done. Keeps us healthy and whole, and he's the best.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. We also got to see Dr. T and Zatek go and see what it's like with on-planet medical services last time around. So it's good to have a doctor in your back pocket, because it wasn't pretty. No. All right, Dr. T, could you tell us a little bit about, let's go Jita. Can you tell us a little bit about Jita Essence?
It's really bright. Recommend sunglasses. Still unsure why rainbows come out of the armpit, but that's just, it is what it is. So yeah, apparently she's some kind of lizard and she shoots bright rainbows. It says it right there on the overlay. You're a salamander.
It does say salamander.
Yes, it does.
It's just not
you know
effort
what
for
you were
symphony.
doing the introduction of me. Who am I to dispute your
Right.
description of me?
Mhm.
You
And
think
he's
I'm a
a
lizard person?
medical man. If
I am a
anyone
doctor.
knows lizards.
I am a doctor.
He
That's
just
how he's
believes
been
that we're all
treating you.
lizards.
That's how he's been treating you. Whenever he needs to consult, he's just like, well, lizards cold-blooded. So she's
Right.
probably cold-blooded. It's a blood
When's the last
transfusion.
time you
Grab
shed?
this chameleon.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Melissa, could you please go ahead then and introduce us to Maya, our corp?
Yes. So Maya Dianyu, better known as #Divine Mocha, is our corp buddy who gets all sorts of connections and social media presence. And she is like, the way that she looks up to Kill is just really a good balance of like respect for your elders, as well as, just like bringing out the fun in like the whole group, and like relationship goals.
That's well said. That's absolutely well said. Looks up to Kill because in multiple ways, not just as a father figure, but as a colossal man from Kansas or some shit who's like 6'9" or whatever.
It is.
All right. And then, that means Maitre, you need to introduce us to father figure Kill, maybe?
Someone kill something kill. I definitely think of Kill as an elder because he is ancient and so just old and constantly up my ass about doing fun stuff. But apparently he can just like take whatever the hell damage he wants to take. But the second I try to outrun some beast in the jungle, then it's all like, oh Maya, like maybe you should be more careful. And he gets all like think about it. And like my mom won't stop asking about him. It's very annoying. And like she just will not stop asking after him. And that's how we're starting to meet our yearning quota for this game.
Absolutely. Fantastic. All right. So, as I said, no Joe tonight. He'll be back though, if he apologizes. But we're gonna start up tonight. We're gonna see what kind of trouble we can get into. Last time around, last session, we tied up some loose ends in that underwater facility that you all had discovered. You grabbed some tech, some loot, etc. You witnessed this very large submersible start churning away. You saved one of the infected Legion pirates that Kill had originally signed up with, and you also rescued Boris from a very fiery truck crash on the beach. When you did eventually return to Miss Pasha 1, you had now Franklin in tow, our new tortoise-like creature friend, and you had a fairly tense standoff with the Green Cloaks, who is like the security force within Miss Pasha 1 on this continent, because they were manning the checkpoint and they wanted the Legion pirate, and eventually you had to hand them over. But not before, through a wonderful little combo of efforts, you left a very small tracer in the sort of like the quarantine bag for the guy or something like that, or maybe even up him or something. I can't remember exactly. But you left a small tracer. Eventually, you got back into Miss Bush 1, get in the city. You finally regain access to your ship, so we got to see a little bit of what that looked like. The Posh Chad had been in sort of quarantine cleaning process for a couple weeks now. And while you all were resting, Kill, after slumping in like I think the turret seat, you received a very surprise visit from your Volp contact. Again, these are like these secret agent, like terrifying spook type people for the Legion. He tasked you with a new gig, and by extension your team, with retrieving the very infected Legion pirate that you had brought back from the Green Cloaks and delivering it to a rendezvous point that he will provide you later. So It's another one of those kind of orders you can't refuse kinds of situations. The next day, you all kind of went around, did some supplies and some shopping, some downtime stuff. I think, like, as I mentioned, Dr. T and Zatek tried to do some healing. Jita, you were doing some research and some crafting stuff back on the ship. And Maya and Kill, you went out shopping for weapons and armor and all that kind of stuff. And while you were having lunch down the street, while waiting for your armor upgrades, that old shady Vergartian merc that you had to outbid during the time that you spent in the auction house, Reg Chara, he showed up and he wanted to make an offer regarding something that you had recovered from the underwater facility. So we're going to pick up right there, right on that moment. As remember, Reg Chara very much is Charlie Sheen from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He just looks a little worn out, but like in a way that kind of is like, you're like, God, that guy looks terrible, but also does he? Like kind of moments. And he approaches the two of you who are sitting, we'll say, on some sort of bistro or cafe down the street from various armor crafters and and other kind of merchants and things like that. And so you're in a public place. There's plenty of other folks around. And he approaches you both. He's got his hands up, and he's like, come in peace. Wondering if we might have a quick word.
Maya looks over to Kill, and if he does not indicate no, then
we're having a nice day. If you want to entertain this young man, I'm not going to say anything about it.
Wasn't planning on entertaining you, but you can come and sit.
Now, hang on there, old timer. I had no intentions like that whatsoever. Just a business proposition is all. And now that I say it out loud, that might sound even worse. Got nothing to do with it. It has to do with something that y'all might have.
Maya's trying real hard not to laugh.
I hope it's understood that should extend to don't proposition me either.
Of course not. Now, our mutual friend Kara, she told me where I can find you, and that's why I'm here. And I heard some rumors. Perhaps y'all might have come back with something that my crew were hired to retrieve, and I'm looking to see if maybe there's a way that I can get that off you. You know. So, mind if I sit?
Pull out a chair.
He sits on down, kind of leans back a little bit. Then he kind of leans forward, both elbows down on the table, sort of rattles a little bit. I'm just going to cut right to it. I have it on good authority that you all found a crystal data shard, yay big. He kind of holds up his hands. It's kind of hard to piece together exactly what it is. Might have some kind of astro-navigational kind of such to it. I've been hired by an individual who I'm afraid to say must remain nameless, as you might expect in such of these situations, and I would like to see if I could get that off you all.
We know what's on the shard. Why do you want it?
As I said, I was hired to get it. I have a reputation to uphold as a man who gets the job done. Gets hired for a job, gets it done. And that's really all I'm trying to do right now is maintain reputation.
Well, I like to try and keep things copacetic as much as possible. Wondering what kind of time frame you might have on that, because we might have some things that we do, and after we're done with them, then maybe we'd be more inclined to hand it over. Maybe it'd be the sort of thing that you didn't see us here today. Took you a while to get in touch with us, and then we got it to you.
I hear you. Well, timeline-wise, it's an ASAP kind of situation. And it was honestly, I'm a little bit overdue on my side of the job, so I'm looking to try to expedite matters if that's all possible. But I understand. You're saying y'all know what's on that thing, huh? Okay.
I don't
Very
mess with the
smart
information part of it. She's got a lot more brains than I do.
Well, we're with people who are good at that kind of thing.
Scene cuts. Hard cut. We see Jita, Dr. T, Zatek back on the ship. Dr. T and Zatek have just returned from the hospital, limping around, maybe messing around with Franklin here or there. Jita, you're in your kind of astro nav site. Now, you've done, I think, some kind of poking around on it, but I don't think you guys have done like a full scan and like a full investigation of this thing yet. We can do that if you would like.
Yes, very much so.
I'll assist.
All right. So it'll be, well, there's a couple different ways. You could kind of describe your approach and what you're doing, but more than likely it's going to be something along the lines of like astronomy or,
Definitely astronomy for Jita, because I've got a 6 in astronomy and I have a bulky toolbox in astronomy.
Computers too, because it's like you could potentially kind of hook it up to your system, kind of explore that and see if you can kind of convert the data that's on there into something that you might better understand. So that's another thing. So, how would Dr. T be helping? Like, what does it look like?
I would be manning the computers.
Okay.
Because that's a skill that I'm not completely garbage at. So I'm assisting on the computers. She's tapping keys and she's like, free up 32 more gigajoules of RAMs. And I'm like, here you go.
Go ahead and roll a computers test, Dr. T.
All right.
Target is a 10. And let's see how you do. I know that Chuck rolls absolutely terribly usually in this game.
It's really impressive.
It's definitely giving me shades of Dan.
I got a 10.
10 on the dot. That's all you need. To take a +1 on your astronomy roll, Jita. The better you do, the more you might receive. Minimum, obviously, a difficulty of TN is 12, but I like if you get like a unexpected consequences or a query or something like that, or a strong hit or something like that, you can potentially get some more info.
Yeah, so I did roll a 6. So my current total is 6, 7, 8. 15.
Okay.
And I rolled a 6. So I can.
Yeah. So the only improvement. Wait, I'm sorry. How much did you say it was again? What's the total?
14.
14.
15.
So you're having
15.
15. Did you expend one of your 6s to do like a your effort? Yeah. So go ahead and spend your 6.
I have not. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you it's free. You can go ahead and do it.
I rolled another freaking 1. So.
Okay. You can always grit if you wanted.
Yes.
Try to bait it out now
so that's
before we get into the
reroll. Yep.
It's a weird feeling that Melissa and Chuck roll so much worse than I do in this game. Like, I really don't know how to reconcile it.
Son of a... Gosh, darn it. This time I rolled a 2 and a 1.
Okay.
You're improving. Good job.
So now it's a 16.
Every time she rolls, she gets 1 more.
16.
16 is important though, because a 16 actually puts you towards unexpected consequences as like you're 4 above the target as opposed to a 15. So that actually is important.
Well then, crit well spent. I knew it all.
Yeah.
Well, just reserve judgment until I tell you the information you found. Then you'll be like, well, that was a waste of money. Okay, so something you already noticed before, and the information you basically had is that there definitely seemed to be, like, as you were looking at the crystal and sort of looking around at it when you found it on the back of Franklin of all things, it did seem to have like this sort of almost like holographic imaging in terms of how like what looked like an astro navigational chart, and it had like this bared a striking resemblance to the Cerberus system in terms of like the way its planets and its various celestial bodies and stuff are laid out. And I would say that all of you would be somewhat familiar with that to a degree because your friend Kill is as a legion and from that system. Now, what you start to dig into a little bit further, Jita, is that, well, I'll say there's two things. The first is that there also seems to be like each one of those like little celestial bodies have like their own kind of extended info, and you can almost see like there's like an explodable like sub menu. Like you tap on certain things or you explore like the metadata within a location, and there's different kind of information, and you notice that it has nothing to do with the Legion. It's not them. Like this isn't data about Legion. Like has like it doesn't reference things like, you know, Cerberus Prime. It doesn't reference like the cities, the locations that kill. Like everything seems much more antiquated. You do see that there is a decent amount of like on planet data, like nav data for planet Hypnos, one of the bodies within that system, that doesn't seem to align with what like the Legion has sort of allowed. You also notice that there's like incomplete data about neighboring or exterior systems to Cerberus too. So it's not just Cerberus. Like you can see, like it's a very damaged, like small database shard, but there's other places outside of this one specific system, but the most intact seems to be Cerberus. Now, if you guys would like, you could roll a culture roll, perhaps, to see if you could deduce more from what you're getting. So the big bonus, the big new thing is that it's more than just Cerberus. It doesn't have anything to do with Legion. It predates Legion. And there's a lot of info about the planet Hypnos. So you can roll some culture tests if you want to learn some things.
Well,
I'm gonna
obviously,
-2. What about
it's
you?
dealing with Dode. Oh, I'm at a -3.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just had a really awful, this, I feel like, it took me a little while to warm up and kind of doing what I'm doing here. It took me a little bit,
Yeah.
but I think maybe now, maybe I'm a
I
little
think
more
so.
like I'm in it. So
Yeah.
I should give it a try.
It's
I
because
think
lizards
that's
are
a genius
cold-blooded.
idea.
It's because lizards are cold-blooded.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now that we've had the
that's
lights on you for a little bit.
Heck yeah. That's a 12.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Even with a -2.
Amazing.
Okay. So the one thing
Oh,
that
actually, I can reroll. I had a 6, so I can reroll then.
that's convenient.
That's a 13.
13. Okay.
It's an increase.
One thing that strikes you as very interesting about this is that it predates sort of the Legion establishing their settlements and such on like it's their system now. It doesn't seem to sort of correspond to that. It's referencing like various satellites and things like that within the Cerberus system, and then other places that all seems to be tracking it. And that's when it kind of dawns on you that this might, considering its age, considering some of the locations, it might be referencing portions of the Mondian nation. Now, the Mondian nation, I'll just give you with your roll. It's like they're like another one of these ancient, cultures and stuff. They were a favorite species, like of the Archons, and they were like neighbors to the ancient Kaltorans. And you did find this in sort of a place that had some kind of ancient kind of Kaltoran data in there as well. But they have, as far as you know, they're gone. They're lost. They're forgotten. They're destroyed. I would say with Dr. T there, you'd probably even know. Dr. T might even, if you're like speaking this stuff out loud, Dr. T, you might even have heard stories within your brood. Like there are 2 different genocrats that are apparently like attack the Mondian, this is back in the Great War. Like they actually attacked the Mondian nations and sort of supposedly destroyed them and stuff like that. Not yours, not the Devi Witch. Not where you come from, basically, or the brood you come from, but someone else. So this is more than just, hey, we have a map of like the Legion home system. This is like lucrative and seems to potentially point to old ruins or old cities or old, settlements and stuff like that. That who knows what kind of treasures and tech and history could be found from it.
Doctor,
Yes.
we both know how old Kill is, right? He's old.
I've counted his rings before, and it's up there.
It is up there. this stuff is even older than like all of them.
That is true.
All of them.
Wait, it's
That's
old
amazing.
enough. And if we were to hunt this down, the artifacts that we retrieve, we could open up our own arts and craft chain.
Priceless. I could
Yes.
get the best metal that money can buy, and she'll like point to sort of the weird sort of engineering mural thing that's on the wall. And like, I could do 10 times better than that.
That is impressive.
I wasn't sure if you would like it or not. It doesn't serve functions in the way that you would normally think.
No, it's fine. I put decorative pieces on my works all the time.
Oh, well, yes, we do have that in common, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Other people may not understand what we're doing,
I
but
don't.
it
Gil
makes
doesn't.
sense to us. He's just old. That's just what it
He
is.
is.
He
He
just
is. He's like, I don't need that many belly buttons, but I'm like, everyone loves a good belly button.
and I mean, what's better? 3 is better than 1, clearly.
Right? He's got 18 right now.
Oh, wow, you've been busy. That's amazing. We should go check this out.
Agree.
Because no one else has this. We have this and no one else has it. So we have an advantage.
I like it when we have secrets.
All right. We're going to hard cut on we have this and no one else back to the cafe. Literally in the same conversation that's happening when you're so that all happened like simultaneously, basically. So you don't necessarily know all that info, but this is what he is kind of like you two wouldn't know that yet. But that is the item. And so she's just saying, ASAP, I'm already over when I promised I would be able to retrieve it. Paid good money on the lead about that facility. And if it was not for the various requirements of the auction house and how they handle their mercenary gigs and stuff, I would have already gotten it and been out of your hair. So we'll pay. We got money, items. We'll put in a good word for you if we can. We'll say good things. Great folk, trustworthy, get the job done, that sort of thing. How's that sound?
Who are you
mean-
saying that to?
What?
Who
Saying
are
that
you gonna say that to?
As I said, I cannot reveal as you all know, sometimes you get employers, they like anonymity. That is part of the contract. I can't reveal who that would be.
Yeah, I have got my own AA, my anonymous asshole, and
You understand? Yeah.
I get it,
Okay.
and that's why I feel really bad. You know, if it would do you any good, really, for me to spot you something, I would. But got a couple eggheads. They're working real hard on something. I was hoping to be the sort of thing that maybe I could get it back to you a little bit later, but.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, honestly, you guys have what I need. I'm kind of at your mercy, I suppose. So maybe give me a contact before you all leave planet. We can make some kind of arrangement. How's that sound? A couple days late. It's already late as it is. A couple days more ain't gonna get me killed. Probably.
Well, we don't want that to happen. So, I like this though. I like that you're nice and polite, and we're keeping this kind. And I just really
Maya
appreciate that.
rolls her eyes.
He gets up at that point. He kind of like wipes his hand. He kind of reaches out, kind of handshake kind of thing. And he's just like, "Hey, one businessman to another." Kind of reaches out, shake your hand. All right. Look forward to hearing from you. And at that point, he backs away, turns around for a second. Always a pleasure, Maya, and kind of keeps going.
As soon as he's turned out, I'm immediately checking to see if he didn't like palm some sort of tracker device on me or some nonsense.
Okay, roll a check. Let's do
Awareness,
awareness,
maybe, or-
I believe. Yeah.
Okay. I think my awareness is slightly better now. It is. Got a whopping +2 to it now.
There you go. You're gonna crush this.
Hey.
Ooh.
So easy.
3 dice, right?
3 dice, yeah. 3 dice
Okay,
plus your
all right.
bonus.
Well, hey, I'll take 5, 5, 4, 14 plus 2, 16.
16.
Nice.
You feel actually as you go to chicken because you like wear like maybe like gauntlets or armbands or something like that. You do in fact notice that there is a very small, almost imperceptible device, like really, really tiny device. Like anyone looking at it might have just been like a piece of glitter. And as you look down, you can kind of see it. You pick it up, and you realize like, yeah, that's something. Maybe you don't know exactly what it does, but it's clearly something. Could be a tracking device, could be a listening device. Like get some of your eggheads to maybe take a look at it. Maybe Zatek or Dr. T would be able to deduce exactly what it does, but he slipped something on you, that's for sure.
Okay. So just in case it can listen in, like do the thing where you kind of like have like the napkin or something you write on,
Mm-hmm.
and just like write a note to Maya like, what would be a funny place to plant a bug?
And she'll write back armor shop that we need to go back to.
And
And because it all sounds important.
We'll go back and like maybe we'll put it on some piece of equipment that we're sure will probably sell, like some high selling thing that probably will sell within the day, and then they'll have to be tracking it wherever the purchaser went.
okay. So we'll say that's
I
exactly
love
what
that Maya
happens.
and Kale are both like petty jerks.
Like you see somebody that's like at the register, like about ready to like check out with something, and you're just like, "Oh,
You know
this looks
the-
like such a good quality suit here. Oh, that
If
looks.
you want to
Oh,
maintain that, I
enjoy
can
that
tell the
purchase."
appropriate motor oil to go along with it. And try and like upsell them so that the shop is happy with us too, is that we're telling them like,
I love it.
Just see some like younger person like, okay, boomer, thanks. I think I know how to do it. Just fine.
Oh.
So we'll say that you do that. You go back to the armor. You get your own upgrades. You plant whatever this was on some other random Zoomer or whatever it was, and then you all, the two of you, maybe return to your drinks. You walk out. So I know that Maya, I think you had something you want to talk to Kill about too. So
I
maybe before you
did.
do this walk- yeah.
There's actually a couple things, but I think I'll save one for when we get on the ship later. But as we kind of make our way back after we are reasonably sure we've gotten like far enough away from the tracker and everything, she'll say, "Kill, like, you mentioned an enormous asshole, and this morning when I said we should go get the body from the wing cloaks, you're usually like really not okay with me suggesting stuff like that. Is there something going on?
nope.
I don't believe you.
Well, stop being so goddamn smart.
If you're
We
in
all got
trouble,
our
you should
shit-
tell me.
I'm not in trouble. I'm doing fine.
If you're in trouble, you should tell me.
Look, for the most part, whenever they do ask me to do something, it's because there's something really shitty. So it's kind of like
Who's
if
they?
there's an ass.
And then they asked for more
So
than.
here's the thing:
What if-
if I let you know
She's
who
kind of
they
staring
are, then
and
you
like
get involved
angry.
with them. But the thing is, sometimes you have somebody that's kind of a petty asshole that has you shit on bigger assholes. Or something.
Usually that's the other direction.
Right.
fairly complicated taxonomy
Are-
of assholes going on tonight.
Yeah,
Anonymous,
yeah.
petty, large.
Are
sexual.
your belly buttons acting up? Is that what this is? Like, no, Maya is visibly worried, and
It's fine. I usually some good gets done because of it. Like the whole thing with the bunker and some of those scientists, they probably would have all been dead if we hadn't headed out that way. So, and maybe whatever was on that thing is going to end up being a good thing that we follow up on it. Maybe we get a lead on how to deal with that fungal disease. Sometimes somebody has to just wade through a whole bunch of shit so that other people can have a better life. And that's what we do.
I guess. But none of that means that you have to work with anonymous assholes and not tell me about it. Sorry, got
Yeah.
distracted. I just
Look,
want to make sure you're okay. And
I'm fine. I've been eating shit for years.
no, I know, but I mean, I know I don't tell you very often, but like, and she looks like kind of uncomfortable. Like,
That guy was really handsome in like a super
you know,
unkempt
whatever.
way, right?
I don't want to.
As he's obviously like changing the subject. It's clear as day.
Okay, look, let's just go get this body because I don't want the fucking green cloaks to have it anyway. So,
Right, they're assholes.
yeah. So I was never not on board.
So here's the thing. That one guy threatened to burn you, and so like if another guy tells me to break in their place and steal something, I figure to myself, yeah, he's an asshole, but he's asking me to break into the place that threatened to burn you, so fuck him anyways.
I was never not going to break it like that. That was never not going to happen.
Well, see, for me, the threat to you was kind of they're, but in the end, we're in the same place.
And she'll slip an arm through Gil's. Like, you're such a fucking idiot sometimes. And
You really
happy to-
wish Dr. T
and
wouldn't have told you about the belly buttons. I've been wearing. I haven't gone out without a shirt on in years. It's really embarrassing.
All right. So we'll say arm in arm, you continue through the streets of Miss Pasha, eventually Miss Pasha 1, and eventually the two of you return back to the ship. Regita and Dr. T have been doing some studying, some rest. One of the other things you noticed, Dr. T, when you came back in as a tech, is that there was a large package in your cargo bay, like really large, like equipment size large. It was just sitting there in a crate, unmarked, no suggestions of like what it might be underneath, no suggestions of what company it might be from. It's just a piece of equipment that seems to be in your cargo bay that you don't remember being there before you guys lost control of your ship for a couple weeks.
Portable X-ray machine. Make sure it's not a bomb.
You have a
Okay.
portable X-ray machine to X-ray the crate?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting
That
my
sounds
med
good.
kit, putting a portable
Yes.
X-ray up to it.
Nice.
That sounds great. Go ahead and roll like it's a medical device, so you can roll medicine if you want, or you can roll electronics. We'll say. One of
I'll do
those two.
medicine. Way better
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, it's a medical device, so I think that makes sense. All right, let me know how you did.
That's an 11. I'm gonna
12 would be the necessary thing.
I'm gonna grid that. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
A
'cause I
1,
rolled
a 1,
two
and a
ones.
3.
Chuck,
What the
sucks at
hell?
rolling in this game is crazy. There you go.
Oh,
look at
man.
that.
What?
Wait, and I'm gonna use one
Yep.
of those 6s to re-roll that 1.
Absolutely, because if you read another 6, which you just did,
Damn.
that is a critical.
Look
which
at
doesn't
you.
very often.
24.
Okay, so that's a critical
Whoa.
success.
What?
I will tell
I
you
don't know what
Space
happened.
and time.
instead of being cagey about it, what I will tell you, it is very much a stasis chamber. It's not hooked up, obviously, whatever, but you can tell a stasis chamber when you see one. But I will say on top of that, because you are because it is a critical success, I will tell you that the design of it, it certainly has modifications to it that are probably consistent with maybe chambers that are meant to hold Auxilia Legion.
Oh,
There's no
not
one
what
in
is
it.
I?
It's
Yeah.
empty, but that's what's there.
All right. I guess in my downtime, I'm going to start getting it hooked up.
Okay. And we'll roll the critical success over, and we'll say that is exactly what you're able to do without issue. And it's around the time which you're done installing it. It's either you're done recording any data you want to record from the crystal data shard, that Maya and Kill return, and I'll let you guys take it away. What's next? Now I don't know how much Kill has told everybody. He's told Maya, et cetera, and I know everything's going on. So I'll turn it over to you guys. Like, what's the plan in terms of, is everyone on board? Is everyone already know about like trying to get the body back, or is this like something that requires a scene, do we think?
I think they
Well,
already
so-
decided they were gonna get the body back, but
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
don't know about the Vulp stuff. I'm not sure if Kill wants to share that. So I don't think there's anything specific Maya wants to as a scene at this point.
Yeah, I probably would give him a heads up. There's some sketchy folks that want whatever you two were working on this morning. Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
very politely told him to piss off. But
Hey, you guys remember that red char guy from the auction house? Actually, RT was the guy that was hating on you. If you remember. I know
It happens
everyone
so
hates on
often.
you. I know everyone
Yeah.
hates on you. But this
Just
guy,
another day that ends with the letter Y.
yeah.
Well, there's some really cool stuff on there. Like Kill, it's about like your system before the Legion.
Oh,
And-
and also, someone dropped off a new cryopod or a stasis pod for Auxiliary Legion. I've got it hooked up already.
What?
Just showed up.
Showed up.
Mhm.
Well,
Sounds
let's
like
say kids
AA's
like
got
us,
faith in
that
us.
your anonymous asshole maybe?
Let's just call him Double A.
Double A.
Viola who gets the Amco commercials where I'm at.
I got
Double
it.
A? It's- yeah, okay.
Nice.
So we're body retrieval first, though, right?
We got a case for it. Might as well get us a body.
All right, I agree.
And Gita's like, oh, I didn't even put two and two together. I was like, why did you say the thing here? Oh, now I get it. Okay,
All right.
cool.
So this is how we're going to do this. I've already mentioned this to you. We're going to kind of do this. You guys got to get a body. You got to break into a facility to get this body, a secure facility. And we're going to treat this a little bit like kind of a blaze in the dark kind of heist where we're not going to require you guys to do like this crazy plan, elaborate plan and kind of stuff. It's more, we're going to kind of do it. And as like we progress, like we'll use like flashbacks and various things to sort of interact with it. So let's like review. You have a couple assets already, but if you wanted to try to like do any kind of gather information, or if you wanted to kind of try to acquire some other assets, we could do that too. But currently you have the makeshift tracer that was dropped onto the pirate somehow. So that could potentially help you. Kill, your Vulp agent gave you an ID that would get you guys in the front door of the, like you can get in the building. Like beyond that is up to you. So he did not promise that was going to work on any other interior floors or stuff like that, but it'll at the very least will get you inside the building. And you also had intel, and this was sort of confirmed between the tracer and the Vulp, that Green Cloak HQ, which is where Zatek was held, Floor 17, lab 5 is where you're going to get to. It's about a 25 to 30 floor building in the right heart of Mispacha 1. It's like the only building that doesn't have any fungus around it whatsoever. Like it's just, there's like nothing there. Other places you can see there's little bits of like those pink friends like boars that are around, but not around the HQ. So that's what you kind of have. So I guess so two things then. One, you have the opportunity if you want, if you think there's something that you would want to gather more information on, you're welcome to like sort of describe what you would do. We don't got to worry about doing this like incrementally in a particular order. This could all just be montage over the course of a couple hours or a day or two, or whatever you want it to be. It's fine. But eventually, like, you're going to just tell me like what's your general approach. So are you trying to like attack a place? Are you trying to deceive your way in? Are you trying to like stealth your way in? You're trying to use some sort of social approach. Like you're just going to kind of like walk me through that. And then we're just going to rip it. We're going to kind of go from there, very Blaze in the Dark style, and kind of make that determination. So with what you have, do you think you have enough? Do you have enough info right now that you feel comfortable, like at least getting the starting point? Or
I think we can absolutely get started, but my instinct is to kind of stay away from a social approach because that did really not work at the border. So I think we should try and figure out like a stealth approach, and if that doesn't work, then like guns blazing. But like what we need then to start off the stealth approach is maybe kind of see where the tracker is and see how to get from the entrance where Kill's keycard will get us in for sure. How to get from the entrance to where the tracker is. Like, what is that route? What are the paths on that route? And what are like any cameras or security or like whatever, but like whatever's on that route that we might need to plan ahead for. Like,
and I think that's kind of what Jita wanted to do, is just to see like with the tracker if she was able to kind of like track the path. Okay. And then like obviously it's not going to necessarily tell like floor 14 from floor 12, but just generally sort of like corridor directionality kind of stuff.
Sure. Okay, so we'll call this like a kind of a gather information. Like, okay, we're gonna do this like Blaze of Dark style. So we're gonna do this like a gather information roll. So Jita, if you want to rip it, if you want to do this one, since it's your tracer that you're working with, I would say probably a computers roll makes the most sense. Electronics, I would probably take 2. So, and if Maya, if you wanted to help with that, since you had described wanting to do, if you wanted to roll like an assist roll on that,
I would love to.
Go ahead and roll whichever of those skills sounds good to you. Go ahead and give that a roll. And if you hit a 10 or higher, you will give her a +1.
I'm going to roll my fancy new stealth because I just put points in that.
Oh, don't roll stealth. Don't roll stealth for this one. Stealth. Okay. This is going to be, this is so just for not, sort of.
This is planning the route. Sorry, I got all excited. Yeah. What works then? Awareness?
Electronics or computers would probably make the most sense.
I'll do electronics because I have a -1 instead of a -2.
All you need is a 10 for your assist.
Sweet. Which I got with 1/6. So that is a 14.
Okay, so Jada, go ahead and take +1 as the two of you are working on this. And depending on how well you do, you'll get some information basically.
13, right. Sorry, -1.
Okay.
I got a 6, so I'm going to roll one of the 2s. So right now I got 6, 10, 13. No, 13.
Okay.
Plus hers is 14.
Okay, so 14. Still pretty good. Okay, so what you learn, Jita, is that from what you can tell based upon the general, you don't have like interior schematics of the building or anything like that, but you can definitely just go on like kind of a corp presentation of the green cloaks, like the equivalent of a website basically, and you can kind of see the building and figure out the floors. Definitely entered in a subfloor, like through like a sub basement or specialized security tunnel, something like that. You can tell that based upon your like whatever data your tracker collected, that it stayed still for a little while. And eventually there was some very slight movement here and there. And then it kind of went vertical, like a straight shot vertical. And then there was additional like kind of minor movements here and there before kind of coming to a stop. So what you could probably conclude is that it went again through some sort of secure tunnel access. Then it probably was in some kind of quarantine maybe. And then it eventually got onto a lift, took it up to that sort of the proper floor. Then they probably prepped it, moved it around, and then they put it into the lab. And that's basically what you think kind of happened. You all right?
We'll kind of share kind of those basic
Okay.
bit of info.
Good to
So
know.
we're stealthing, right?
Super
Okay.
stealth.
Okay.
So where would you guys like to try to begin your stealth? Are you looking to try to get inside using like so just to run you through some options, like do you want to use the card to get into the building and then stealth from there? Do you want to try to stealth through these like tunnels, these sort of secure underground access? Are you looking to find a different route in? Like, is there a particular way that you're looking to try to stealth, like begin your sort of infiltration?
Sub basement feels better than the front door for stealth versus talk. What do you guys think?
I agree with that entirely. I mean, like, I feel like we've got the card. It would be really handy to use it, but then that means we have to walk in through the front door as bold as can be. Let's crawl through some tunnels.
Okay. All right. So let's then say someone's going to go ahead and kind of take the... Actually, do I want to just do a group roll on this? Yeah. Let's do a group roll. If you're all going to stealth, you're trying to stealth in through the underground. Go ahead and roll your stealths. Each one of you roll stealth, and we'll see how this goes. As you locating like specific tunnel access, locating specific kind of gate access. That's not necessarily like the hardest thing to do in the world. Like I said, you're able to see various entrances into the building itself.
Sorry, guys.
I did okay. I got a 12.
That's a crit fail, 3 ones.
Oh, brutal.
Ow.
I was gonna ask for an audience size, and I think I definitely want now to.
Don't bother.
Well, we do plus. I don't we do plus ones. I think we just do,
plus
or
one.
we do a one die reroll. I never remember. There's too many. We're playing too many games.
I thought it was
I
just a
was
plus
right
one
there.
bonus.
Okay, plus one. All right.
Okay. That gives me a 13 then.
15.
15, 13.
Oh no,
Then-
sorry. I just had to myself, so that's a 15.
Okay, 2 15s. Dr. T, how'd you do?
I got a 12. I did pretty good.
All right, 12's pretty solid indeed. Yeah. Okay, so you guys, what do you think? We're doing this at night? We're doing this during the day? What
At
are
night.
we? Okay, nighttime.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys will say are lingering around a bit downtown. You kind of check the time. You wait until what you think would be a skeleton crew kind of time. The headquarters are always going to be occupied. It is it's that kind of place. However, different times of day might have definitely a smaller occupation. So you maybe spend some time kind of casing the joint itself, looking at the building on the ground level, and you do find that there is a kind of a vehicle access that is sort of company only, like green cloak only. And while you guys are watching this and kind of looking here and there, you see the only vehicles going in and out seem to be what looks like green cloak vehicles. And most of them are similar to kind of the one that you saw at the checkpoint, which are kind of like ignition crews that are going out and kind of cleaning up here and there, cleanup crews. And so at one point, we'll say, while one of these vehicles is at the kind of the secure checkpoint and is kind of passing credentials off to whoever the security person is, the four of you kind of take that opportunity to maybe kind of sneak past. And 3 of you do an absolutely wonderful job of doing so. Kill, Maya, Dr. T, you take the lead. You're sneaking. You hear the voices of 2 people conversing. You wait until you hear like this laughter happen, and you know that people are kind of roaring back. They're not really paying attention here and there. And you just run and you skirt through on the backside of this security hut, and you get into this underground parking center. Jita, on the other hand, you trip. Pretty simple. You trip, you fall, you kind of tumble a bit. There's a little bit of a slope, and as you tumble around a bit, you find yourself face down. You've got kind of some scrapes on your face here and there as you were kind of moving in a different direction, and you're right there, literally in the headlights of this vehicle. Go ahead and take 3 points of endurance endurance loss, max endurance reduction from this, just from kind of getting sloshed around. It's a critical fail. We're gonna go really bad on this one, and there's like a pause as like they are so shocked at just seeing somebody, and then all of a sudden you hear guns, and like they kind of come up and they start pointing in your direction. And they're like, hands.
Oh my! Oh dear goodness! Of course.
And they kind of come up, and they can see like you're not supposed to. This is a restricted area. And like they come up, like, where's your identification?
Oh my, no. I was, and she's got something that's akin to like a miniaturized telescope kind of a thing. And so she's like, "Oh, I'm just so clumsy. And she makes up some like thing that she was just like tracking up in the stars, and I just wandered around, and I was just trying to get the right. And where am I even right now?"
They kind of look at you, like you can see they've got this visor on. They're in like dark armor, a little bit of they have it's a security gear. They got like this red visor, a little bit of kind of like a green cloak. It's more ornamental than anything. And one of them kind of says to somebody else back in there, like, "Hey, did a nonsense say that there was a Twyfar at that checkpoint incident?" And the other person's like, "Yeah, that's right. They did. Said they giving them all sorts of problems, actually. Yeah, she said if there's any funny business, well, I'll go ahead and put her in holding. Flag. We'll figure it out in the morning."
Do we
That's a good
see
idea.
and hear any of this?
You can hear and see as much of this as you would like. That's perfectly fine. As they begin
Getting inside the building.
they begin to bind Jita's hands.
Okay, I'm. God damn it. Okay.
And Gita's just like, "Oh, I mean, just for the sake of science." And she's like rattling off, "Do you understand that the event that's going to be happening up in the sky is like a once in 300 years? And just the scientific the scientific discoveries that are just not, and not all Twyfar look alike, right? That's not how that is. Ow. Oh, okay. That's not how that's
Gita's
supposed
trying to do that,
work.
Maya is kind of running up and like, "Oh shit, Lady G,
Guns turn and point at
we're
Maya.
not
No.
supposed to be here. We didn't get clearance for this area. Look,
Hands.
guys, hands up,
on
hands
the
up.
ground.
Okay, Lady G, we didn't get clearance to this area. We have to get back to the main.
I don't even know what area this is.
No, I know you
We're trying
wandered
to
off.
film the
You
thing, and
you just wandered off.
they don't understand science. It's one every 300 years, and I'm not going to be able to.
We don't have clearance for this area. We have to go.
Well, they said I can't go. They said that apparently some other Twyfar did some other thing, and so now I've got to pay for the crimes of all Twyfar. Apparently,
why do you have to pay for the crimes of some random Twyfar? That seems really inappropriate.
I thought so too.
Sorry, I'm laughing, but obviously.
So
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You got something?
in
Just gonna kill you guys like
the
right here at the door. You're not even
in the vein of this kind of heist where I can say, "Oh, I prepared for this. I really figured that there was going to be a
Flashback.
situation."
Sure.
I have a flashback of, I just know it. We're going to get holed up. and those two are going to try and talk us out of the situation, and they're going to end up talking themselves into 3 new situations. So I definitely prepared a bunch of aerosol sedatives.
Okay.
Just
Knockout gas.
knockout
knockout
gas.
gas. Lots and lots of knockout gas.
All right, so flashback. We see Dr. T. You're in your medical workshop on the posh Chad. You're mixing all sorts of chemicals and such. Go ahead and let's just make this. What do you think? Biotech or medicine?
Biotech. Either one's fine. We'll go biotech because I think it's more. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, minimum of 12. The better you do, the more
how's a
effective
20?
the gas will be. That is
Wow.
very effective.
Yes.
There's no need to gloat. So
I mean, after not rolling ones
After-
and twos, go
yeah.
ahead.
Get some of the
So
conversations we've had about Dr. T. I'm concerned at how good he is at making knockout gas. Just want to put that out there.
So we've
18
got-
belly buttons and 17 of them were not consensual.
Right?
Well, listen. I don't know why he's so mad because I halved him, half her innies and half her outies. That way, when he flexes abdominal muscles together, they it's a perfect fit.
Oh, amazing.
Okay, so we're literally right at a checkpoint going down into this secure underground parking garage, effectively for green cloak vehicles. We see Jita, your hands are bound. Maya, your hands are like about to be bound. They're coming over, but they're not quite to it. We'll say 2 people. There's the driver and there's the person in the gate. Okay. And so one of them is out, has already bound Jita. The other one, and they now have their gun drawn on Maya, while the other one is like walking behind Maya, getting ready to putting bindings on her. And that's when we hear a whoop, clink, clink, clink. And then we just see like as a can pops off the roof of their vehicle onto their hood, onto the ground. They turn to look, and all of a sudden the gas kind of comes out. What the hell is that?
Hey, hold your breath.
Thump, thump.
Maya
And-
gets up and tries to grab Gina and book it.
And we'll say the 2 of you drag away because of the quality of Dr. T's gas. We'll say the 2 of them collapse. It manages to get through even their respiration filters. Like, that's how good the gas was. Maya and Jita, I will say, however, that you get a dose of it on your way out. So reduce your max endurance by 2, as you're going to have a contact high for a little while is basically what's happening. Okay. But the good news is that the 4 of you have made it in. There's a vehicle literally stuck outside the checkpoint, and the 2 people who are, one person who was leaving, one person who was operating that tower or that guardhouse, they're unconscious now.
Sorry,
What's
man,
that?
you said 2?
2 from your max
endurance?
endurance. It's just temporary. Like, you'll get it later.
No,
Just
no
reduce
worries.
your max endurance.
Just reminded me of the number. Thank you.
Just a little contact high. Okay.
Maybe give the smoke just a second to dissipate, and there might be a good chance that they have some sort of security clearance. Like, clearly, they would have some way that they would get into the building to put Jita into a cell. I want that for myself.
I'm just
Okay.
so clumsy. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We obviously should do the thing where these aren't going to fit me, but and Dr. T, you don't look anything like him, but congratulations, both of you are security guards now.
Is that a promotion? Where does security guard land socially compared to medical doctor? Like, is that a step
It depends
up?
on where you are. Right
It's,
here, it's perfect.
Okay, good.
It's,
right here. Right?
But
Right,
you-
Gil?
normally, the number of arms you have is just, great, but it's in this case too many for the
I'll
uniform.
braid my tentacles together to give me a little starfish appearance.
Oh, please don't talk about starfish.
It's so unsettling, RT.
Okay,
I
fine.
could go for a yoo-hoo right now.
You get a uniform, and who else wants a uniform?
So they were corp people. They were just normal bipedal corp people. So
Okay.
I don't know if they like. It would be weird on Dr. T.
That's why Kill was trying to say. Clearly, it's going to be Maya and Gita who put
Well,
this
yeah,
on.
we got it. We got
I
it.
feel like you
We got
could
it.
make it work, but you know. Okay. So we'll say that the two of you now have gear on. Okay.
You have to have the put on the enemy uniform sequence. It's just
Aren't you,
Of course.
it's
aren't you guys a little
protocol.
short to be security guards?
Mhm.
Buddy?
Yeah.
I think so. I think so.
Dare
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. I get that.
Meanwhile, I'd be the
reference.
one that hits my head on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get the security uniforms, you put those on. They do have ID cards like these scans. You do know that I would say it's possible there could be some biometric scans and stuff like that, but you do at least have key cards. And they bear a striking resemblance to the one that you were given from the Volp agent kill, but they do have a different number on it. So you think these might give more access, because it does seem like you were even told that your card wouldn't even get into here. Like you could only get in the front door. And so these are getting in like a more secure access. So this is definitely better. When you proceed down into this kind of secure, kind of underground parking garage, so to speak, you can see that there are several spaces for these sort of ATV-like truck, like these big truck, like ATV vehicles. Like you can tell these are the things that people go out. You can see there's even places for mounts probably for like fire, like flamethrowers and things like that, like these turret mounts and such. You also see that there's a handful of smaller vehicles, more like utility vehicles and stuff. But it doesn't look like this is a place where anyone's kind of. It's not like there's a ton of normal cars. They all seem to have like a very distinct purpose for this group. Looking around, you notice that there are, in addition to this, there's a couple like emergency response vehicles, because that is partly what they do. Like they are kind of law enforcement in a way, first responders in a way, with certain reports. And so you can see that there's some emergency response vehicles and such. But you do eventually find there is this sort of secure, you might even presume bulletproof, kind of glass double door that seems to lead into some kind of underground lobby. It does have keycard access. If you swipe the keycard access that you got from your security guards, you see opens up, and you can see that you are in a underground lobby that's not currently operated. It just has. It looks like there's a lift that goes up. Looks like there's an emergency stairwell that goes up. Looks like there's just sort of like basic restroom kind of area, and like some like vendor utility things down here. So there's like, sodas, snacks, that kind of stuff. And that's what you see. Now I would say you guys are probably, you would know to look for this. There's more than likely there's surveillance somewhere, right? So there's like, whether you're coming in the door or whether it's in the lobby or whether it's in the actual parking garage, you would probably be able to see every now and then that there are security cameras. And so we'll say for now you've managed to avoid them, but you're aware that they exist. What's the next tactic here we want to employ?
Given that, would it be possible to do a flashback on that and say that since we knew we were going to be going inside of a building, that we would have maybe gotten some kind of a like mask that you can put on that might like mess with cameras. So I'm imagining some like version of, like we're all wearing president's masks, but something that's going to kind of like technically kind of like screw with the cameras a little bit.
Like jammer masks. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that sounds great. Gita, would we say in our flashback, are you trying to acquire them or are you trying to craft them yourself?
I am a crafter.
Okay. This sounds like a mechanic's role, if you're okay with that. if you're crafting them
You
yourself,
got this.
I would. Yeah, I mean, I think mechanics makes the most sense. I mean, electronics, I guess I could take too.
Electronics is a -1 versus a -2, so I
Let's do it
would
then.
prefer that. All right, let's not
Yeah.
get a crit fail on this
While she's
one.
rolling.
I would have loved to have assisted you with that, but
While she's rolling, congrats, Jeremy, for winning the game.
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm
Awesome.
glad it
you
could
know
come
what?
to such deserving hands.
I am happy to get another copy from Josh. So why don't you do a second one
Ooh.
for someone that
Sure.
not Jeremy? As much as I love Jeremy,
But I mean, favoritism is so great.
it is so great. That's why I want you to have the first one.
Too old to Twitch. It's just you just
Oh.
won. You just won Demi.
Oh my
gosh!
gosh.
Here you go.
Oh my God,
fantastic!
fantastic.
Friends the other
Hostage
day.
right now?
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
I'll
What do I need to
DM
hit?
you guys on Discord with stuff.
Cool. Sounds good. And again, if you're listening to this later on YouTube or on podcast, check show notes. We'll have a link to the game we're talking about. And if you want to go over to Drive Through, throw some money towards the creator, we can. Again, it's money goes to charity organization.
826 DC.
Perfect for encouraging young folk to be creative, which is a good thing. So. Jita, 12 is always, unless I say otherwise, 12 is going to be the target for this. But
I'm going to need to spend
unexpected
grit then.
consequences could give you bonuses and things.
Yeah, I'm going to
There you
need
go.
to spend grit to do a reroll.
Okay.
It's a decent
Don't
roll, but
forget-
not good enough.
Oh no!
And that's
Don't
better.
forget to pass it this time.
Thank you.
When you lie about what you
So-
roll, make sure it's above what you need to hit.
Right.
Only lie about failing rolls when the rolls don't matter. That's what I do to Steven all the time.
Yeah.
That is a 13.
13. Okay. So, we'll say you got these physical masks that you're using. So likely Jita, Maya probably don't even need to wear them, as the two of you have the security helmets on. So you might not even need them. And so maybe you pass over to Kill, and Dr. T is a little bit more complicated because he's got those tentacles, but there's no reason to presume that there aren't Nephilim working in here, especially since there's laboratories in here and stuff. So it's probably not odd to see that. So we'll say that you have these devices, you put them over your faces, you walk in, and it's not gonna identify your face. It's not gonna let people know. Now, if somebody is actively like watching, it's possible they could see a weird blip and inquire. If somebody is looking at this tape later, they're not going to be able to identify you, that kind of stuff. So, but for now, doesn't seem like anything triggers. You don't hear any klaxons going off. Alarm doesn't trigger. The doors don't shut and lock. You are in the lobby. Elevator in front of you. Stairs as well. Those seem to be the two routes going up.
We know what floor we need to hit.
You do, from what you understand from the Vulp agent and from Jita's own tracer, floor 17, lab 5.
No,
The elevator up as high as it'll go, and then the stairs the rest of the way.
sounds good. Or even we take the elevator as far as it will go. Then I'm actually pretty good at mechanics myself. Maybe I find a way to get ourselves into the shaft, and then we just climb up the last little bit.
That sounds awesome.
Okay.
Never been in an elevator shaft, but it's cool.
I wasn't sure, with your age, if you'd want to climb 17 flights of stairs.
Listen, Kill can climb all of the stairs. The things I've done to
I
those
can-
knee joints.
I get in my steps every day, but right now I want to get in as deep with that shaft as I can. Okay.
Okay.
We all knew it was going there.
I know.
Yeah, we did.
He said shafts. Jeremy's on the stream. We're going there. It's gonna do it.
Yeah, we're going there.
Okay.
It's all good, man. If we didn't like it, we wouldn't laugh or invite you back. So that's how I feel.
Okay. I was trying to show restraint. Making fun of me.
You scan the security. So again, you got to use the card to open up the elevators, which open up just fine. 4 of you climb onto the lift. You go and you start hitting buttons to see where it'll go. It does have all the way up to 30, but anytime you hit, if you just try 30, it doesn't work. 28 doesn't work. Just doesn't light up, doesn't seem to compute, that kind of thing. Eventually you realize at the highest level that like when you actually select a floor, that it seems that your security card will let you go to, because you keep getting this like no clearance, no clearance, no clearance, no clearance, that kind of stuff, is floor 9 is the highest it seems to will go. And so punch that in. You start going on up. And I need someone to roll me. I want a luck test from somebody. So let's see. Jeremy, we were just talking about you. High or low, Jeremy?
Hi.
Okay. Okay. At around floor 4, we'll say, the doors open up. And you can see 2 scientist-looking fellas. They've got their white lab coats and such on. Come walking in. They have what look to be some sort of tablets in their hands. They're in some sort of conversation. And they also have what looks to be like hanging over top of their heads, like some sort of floating drone here and there. Like each one of them have it, and they're talking as they come in about like they're kind of going over like new models of growth, like growth data, like etc. Like they're just that's the conversation you hear when the doors open up and they look out at you. Going up.
Yeah, we're transporting some pretty dicey stuff though, so maybe you guys can take the next one. And Chewie just hit the close door button.
Okay. So if you reach to do the closed door button, that will happen, of course. However, can you roll a persuasion test really fast?
Absolutely can.
You got this.
And I have a toolbox and like all the persuasion things. So I'm gonna add all those persuasion things.
Okay.
What I gotta say?
This is going to be a difficulty of 14,
Okay.
No.
which should be okay.
Yeah.
What you have? I know the stats for you for this, so I think you're still going to be okay.
All the
got
persuasion things.
Yeah, all the persuasion things have netted me to 19.
Okay, 19. Okay. You see, as they're like one of them was like half on when you say maybe you can get to the next one, and you reach out and you hit the button, and they lean back. Sure. And then as the doors are closing, you just hear, "Fucking green cloaks, goddamn thugs," and the door closes.
Nice.
And you continue.
Very good.
And that's
You
why you
continue
wear
up.
the uniform.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
See, you're not stupid. Gil, stop
Yeah, I'm
fucking
not
saying
senile
that.
just yet, I know.
That experience, just all that experience, just so helpful.
I saved the extra in my belly buttons.
The lift goes up to the 9th floor, and you hear opens up, and you can see out in front of you. There's it's sort of a standing waiting area. There's no like seats or anything here. It's just chrome surfaces every which way. You can see there's fairly muted lighting from what you can see. You can see that, we'll say, if you peek out, you can see that there's like a T section that connects to the elevator. There appears to be like a one of them seems to be one of the ways down the T section will lead to some sort of compliance office, and so it kind of goes in that direction. And then you see another one seems to go towards like security offices, and that seems to be like the 2 ways to go out of here. When you peek also in this little area where the elevator are, there's again more of that stairwell that goes up, but you can see the door itself has some kind of some sort of check. Like it's like you gotta scan. And there's no one actually standing in the waiting for the elevator right now. And again, the lighting seems muted, like it's like nighttime energy conservation kind of lighting.
Can we potentially let the doors close and then work on trying to access like the emergency hatch, and then just going up the?
Of course.
Yeah, just
okay.
like hit the stop button or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the doors close. You hit the equivalent of a stop movement button. Okay.
And I just want to see if I can finagle mechanics or something like that. Like in Aliens, the equivalent of heavy machinery to like get our way up through the hatch and like start climbing up the elevator shaft. Because
Okay.
you need to wear the enemy uniform. You need to climb the elevator shaft.
Absolutely. So are Dr. T or Jita or Maya doing anything to help Kill with this, to help with this little project of trying to getting up through the elevator and into the shaft?
I don't think I have anything that would be
Okay.
remotely helpful. So
Fair
maybe
enough.
there are folks through.
I can try to jerry rig the elevator so it won't get called somewhere else while
Okay.
we're doing this.
Okay.
Let's
Give it a false, problem or something like that shows up.
Okay.
It's kind of what I was thinking too, like an electronics.
Yeah. Both of
Computer,
you then,
yeah.
you can go, electronic sounds good. Both of you can roll that. If one of you wanted to roll
I'll
computers
help you.
instead, that's fine
Awesome,
too. There is a
awesome.
computer interface.
I'll support you.
Well, we'll say the two of you are rolling this in support of like the larger
Oh,
plan. So
okay.
this is to give Kill like bonuses on his roll.
Which fortune I've got +3 in mechanics.
Nice. So all Dr. T and Jita need are 10s to
14.
Okay.
I got a 10. I'll take it.
Okay. Go ahead and take your +2. Go ahead and take your +2 for that.
Sweet.
Jita, because you got a 14 while the two of you were messing around with electronics, I'll say one of the things you do notice as you're trying to disrupt the interference with it, there are active calls for this elevator.
Mm.
Nice.
Nice.
So you would know that they're trying to call it, and it will be noticed at some point that it's not coming. So someone will notice it at some point.
We're going to have a limited amount of time here. This is a popular elevator, this one.
Okay, 2, 4, 5. So 6, 5 is 11, 14, and then 2 from them, 16.
Okay, 16 manages to. You're going to be able to. There's some sort of contraption up top. You can even tell Kill that there's security on this. Like you can tell that there is some sort of specialized locking mechanism for this. Like they don't want people coming in and out, but you're able to bypass it with your 16. You're able to climb up onto the top of the elevator, and you are in this dark elevator shaft, and you're able to help if you want other people up, and you can kind of close it. And with your unexpected consequence from it is you can make it look like no one has messed with it. Like you can kind of do this with such precision and care as to not make it look like anyone was jury rigging or trying to break this thing open.
This isn't my first rodeo. I've stolen a body before.
So you guys are in the middle of this dark elevator shaft. At any moment, Jita, you know that the elevator will eventually have to move. Like you guys have stalled it for a while, you and Dr. T, but at a certain point, if you don't let it go, it will become suspicious and someone will come check it out.
Yep. We should climb fast just in case they've got access to get higher than we did.
Okay. I would like then everybody to make a physical test as you begin to
Yay.
climb. You doing let's get physical? Is that what you're on?
Maybe. Yeah, I am.
I'm going to spin a grit.
Okay.
I would like to not
17 on
die,
that.
so
Okay.
I will spin a crit as well.
All right.
I am also spending a grit.
And
Physically weak party.
Okay.
we're
Not
very,
everybody has as much experience with the shaft as I do.
he's very skilled at it. Yeah. I'm
Mine
gonna
just doesn't want Kill to know.
No.
But,
Mm.
15 after spending
12.
the grit.
Yeah, 12 after spending.
Okay.
trying to do math.
I know you are. I see what happened to you. So Chuck, he spent grit to re-roll because he had an 8 initially, but he got a 6 on his next roll. Then he re-rolled that and got another 6, which puts you basically at 12 plus 4 is 16 minus 2. So it puts you at 12. But I think you can I think you can spend that 6 to then re-roll
To re-roll that 4.
the other one. Yeah, if you want.
All
'Cause right
right.
now you're at a 12. Or excuse me, right now you're at a 14. Which is pretty good.
I'll stick with the 14 because I know in me I'm going to roll a 1 on that.
So,
Do you
So
have
everyone-
to take the reroll?
I
Or
don't
can
think
you
on a
take the
strong
higher?
hit. I don't think on a strong hit. I think on a grit you do. I think a strong
Okay.
hit.
Okay.
I think. I always remember that, and then 2 weeks go by, and I forget after I looked it up the previous time. Anyhow,
I'm
you all
sorry,
passed.
man.
No, it's all good. If it mattered right now, I'd look it up, but all of you passed, so I think you're okay. The 4 of you climb and you make a lot of progress. Now, I would say you've probably moved up maybe about five stories, and then you start hearing zzz, zzz, and I'm gonna say Kill's probably in front. Kill, you look up, and you can see up in the shaft, the elevator shaft. You can see there are what looks like about a dozen moving kind of red lights kind of moving about in these tiny little bits here and there. And each of them is shooting out almost like this laser sweep. You think there's some sort of security drones, Kill? They seem to be inside, blocking probably about floor 15 and above, you would think.
It's pretty lights up there.
And I assume basically that the if they're moving a circle of the beams, probably shooting into central locations, so to speak. Do they kind of match each other?
Yeah, so it definitely looks like the drones themselves are moving, like they're actively doing scans, and like some of them, like it looks like they're scanning like doors, they're scanning like the shaft itself, and you can tell that they're slowly lowering, and coming in your direction. So it does seem like they're getting like the entirety of the area as they're moving downwards.
Well, this is where I'd love to do a well, actually. Because
Absolutely.
we've already talked about, like, I've got the both the stealth and the leadership mod on my armor that lets me kind of change the color on it and kind of like modulate where different colors show up. And I'd love to like have well, actually, that I tinkered with it, knowing that that's a common, because this is my first time going up a shaft.
Sure.
So I know that that's not an uncommon security measure, and try to have something to where I can pre-program a certain like light frequency on my suit. So if I make sure to kind of climb in tandem with those things, it will pick up a reflection of what it's expecting to see off my armor.
That sounds pretty fun. And mechanics, I think, is what you're looking to roll.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll say we get a little flashback around the same time Dr. T is making his knockout gas. We got Kill kind of messing around with his armor, making these different devices, etc. I don't think you
Just
guys
like
actually
last time I
have.
stole a body.
I don't think you have a workshop, but you have a tool. Do you have a toolbox for your mechanics?
I don't. I've got my skill, my background, and then I have a perk that helps me out with it. But I don't have a toolbox for it.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and give it a roll. I'm gonna then make, if you don't have like the specific tools, we'll say difficulty 14 instead of 12. But you're good otherwise.
If I take an audience thing, that gives me a +1.
+1. Yep.
Okay, might do that.
Yeah, go for it.
Me 4. It's good. I'd like to use. I've got a 6, a 1, and a 1. I think I'd like to re-roll one of those ones.
Sounds great.
Okay, so 6 and a 4 is 10. 1, 11, 4, 15.
15 is enough. So you turn on whatever it is you want in your armor, start moving a little bit closer. The camouflage kind of takes over. Maybe you even test it with one as you see one of these drones that are a little bit out in front, kind of scans over top of you. Hold your breath a little bit. Did you do it right? Oh my God, did I do it right? Did I forget to plug that in? And it doesn't seem to go off. You're pretty sure then, Kill, that you can get through these. The rest of your group, not so much, but you would probably have no issues kind of climbing up past these things. You're pretty sure.
Or I can do a ridiculous thing where I'm constantly like trying to like I cover over somebody as they climb, and then have to come back down and then cover over the next person as they climb. So unfortunately, I have to do the whole. I have to just go up and down the shaft over and over again
God damn
to
it.
help my friends.
Remind me never to put an elevator shaft in anything ever again. Every building you guys go to
There
is
was
single story.
actual
Ranch
reason.
style
Bungalows
houses.
everywhere.
Elevators have not been invented.
I'm
in the
really
Fragged
sorry.
universe.
Except that I'm not.
Okay. So I would like then to let's have everybody then. So Maya, Dr. T, Jita, give us a. Why don't you go ahead and I'll say you can choose stealth or physical to kind of hold on to Kill as Kill is climbing up and to keep your body compressed to hide from the drone scan.
I want to do physical and just like latch on to his back, squirm around his body. That way I stay out of view of the.
Okay. I like it.
20
Oh, goodness.
on stealth.
You know what? I'll use another grit.
All right.
You've got all those extra little spots you can hold on to on my belly buttons. Grab the
What?
outies.
Just half of, yeah, just.
Can
You know, I
see
should
by
have-
protruding the outies? I kid.
That's an 8. I did better, but.
Jita, how did you do?
I spent my last grit and I still failed.
Okay. Kill, you managed to get the first. Yeah, Maya goes up first. So, which makes sense. The two of you know how to work together, showing Dr. T and Jita how this works. And so, like, she's clinging. And then you start to take the other two up. And that's when basically all hell breaks loose as the drones that are kind of scanning around and making sure that everything's okay, like some whatever's going on within this this elevator shaft, or making sure that no one kind of goes up into the sections that they're supposed to go to. You can see they definitely they kind of look in your direction, and they very much notice that there's something here that shouldn't be, and they are going to let's see.
I feel like
Um,
Jita has like a bit of like a glow with the Farron that is like messing with this like kind of
Could be.
camo that Kill's trying to do.
So they're going to attempt. So I'm going to say that they're all going to get. This is not going to. We're not going to put this on Maya, but it's going to be on Dr. T and on Jita. And I'm going to give you guys both cover, since Kill is essentially kind of on you. So you'll have a little bit of cover. But they're going to attempt to essentially taser you. Is sort of what's happening. They're shooting out like kind of a stun disruptor.
Eek.
Oh. Let me
So
do
rude.
that. I know, right? Aren't they asshats? All right. So first one will go on Jita. 7, 9 plus 3 is 12. So it's plus 3 is 12, but with the cover, I'm going to say that it most certainly does not hit you, Jita, but Kill, you feel as something kind of shocks the back of your armor, but your defense is what, like 15, you said? So it doesn't actually. So when the stun kind of comes off, the disruptor hits. It's going for Jita. It manages to contact you. All it really does is shock you, and I'll say maybe it causes a momentary disruption in the camouflage, but it doesn't actually do any damage to you. And then the one towards Dr. T, who is also trying to cling. Maybe this is why it went wrong, is that you were trying to get Jita and Dr. T at the same time. Let's see. 9, 11 plus 3, so it's 14. What's your defense, Dr. T?
I don't know. Stop the microphone. 15.
Okay, so same thing basically happens, and so Kill, at this point your camouflage is starting to falter, not through no fault of your own. It's just your body's so big, you're actually protecting your crewmates here, but they just blind luck are just starting to disrupt it, but it's not enough to break through your cover yet. So now you guys have effectively a half dozen of these these drones with these stun tasers that are kind of starting to swarm around you. So let's terms of combat order. We're going to treat this like a combat, but it doesn't necessarily have to be something we map out. I think highest combat order is probably going to be Maya and Jita, if I recall correctly, are the two top. Dr. T and
What a three.
And I think kills the slowest of two. Okay, so Maya, you are above them. And so you're looking down and you're seeing all this craziness happening. There's now 6 drones that are starting to swarm down on this weird camouflage blob where Jita and Dr. T are holding on to them. And then Jita and Dr. T are somewhat visible. So Maya, what would you like to do?
How many drones are there?
There are 6.
6.
I'll tell you mechanically, they're a henchman mob basically. So it's like a swarm basically.
Okay.
Think of it like that.
Okay. I'm just trying to see if there's any attack actions that let me hit multiple, but it doesn't look like there are. So I am just gonna I don't think I need to move.
No, that's fine. We'll play this theory of mine. You're above them. You're in range. You can shoot down.
Okay.
Like we don't.
So
need to play this
I'll just
too
take
strategically.
2 stab. I'll take take aim as my first action and a snapshot as my second,
Sounds
which
good.
gets all the pluses from the take aim. Which is
Okay.
19 to hit.
Oh yeah, that's more than enough to hit. What's your damage?
Damage is 2 plus focus. Plus another 2, so 4 plus focus, which is 4. I have 4 on focus, so 8 damage.
8 points of damage. So, Maya, you take aim, you get your pistol out, you fire, and one of them explodes and falls the rest of the way down the shaft. Maybe it clinks off the wall. You hear click, 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 and then it rattles.
It's an acid shotgun, so it just kind of burns in place.
It's gonna fall. It's gonna
amazing.
Fall. Parts of it are gonna fall and rattle below. But I think I think that's
fantastic.
Okay, so Jita, you hear gunfire go off above you. You hear these these little things are starting to activate. They just took a couple shots at you. Maya just took down one. You're tucked underneath Kill, kind of clinging to this elevator ladder, but also clinging to Kill. What do you want to do, Jita?
So I want to do a snapshot followed by a reposition. So I want to come out, I want to attack, and then I want to come back into cover.
Please go right ahead. Please absolutely do that. Yes.
So that on the hit dice is a 6 and a 2. So that's 8. And then does that hit?
8 is not enough. No.
Did your weapon add something to it?
Yeah, you should have a flat plus to hit bonus. A
Did
pretty
you have
high
like
one.
a plus 9?
Oh no, sorry, that's right. Sorry, it's an 8 plus 9, so that's 17. Sorry.
17. Okay, that does in fact hit. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think you should be able to do enough damage as they
6 damage.
Okay.
And I rolled
so
a
you
6 on the to hit. Does that make it a crit?
On the to hit, it's the same thing. You can use a strong hit. So yeah, you can use a strong hit, which basically get a critical. I can tell you that you're going to kill them no matter what, as you've done enough damage to destroy them. As you see a second one of these begins to sort of clatter down the elevator shaft. So 2 of them are out. There's still 4 more left. As you tuck
Rainbow
back
blast.
underneath Kill. Rainbow blast. Lift your arm up, shoot your rainbow out of your armpit. Second one gets taken in.
Yep.
Dr. T, what you up to?
Science. Well, they're swarming us. I'm gonna skitter around to the opposite side of Kill and just pull out my little laser scalpel and just start flailing tentacles. So I'm going to move and attack as a snapshot.
Okay. You just see like
let's-
this like sticky tentacle thing crawling across the inside, like its tentacle gets shoved into Kill's face here or there as you're like using
Yeah.
his leverage to come around.
I'll keep it
It's like a
17.
tentacle.
17's
Okay.
fair.
17 is more than enough to hit. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Endurance damage on that is a 6.
Okay. That is
crit
also
damage
going to be
is 3.
enough as you are able to take a third one down. So now 3 of them have been close. So half of the group now has been taken out. And we,
Yeah, and then for my second action, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll just take a sighted shot.
okay.
Take another one out.
Sure.
Because this I get to roll big numbers.
So the first one you
Oh,
did,
yes.
the first one you did snapshot to move and attack, right? And then the
Yep.
second one you're doing so. Yeah, it's fine.
Sighted shot. Yeah. 21 to hit.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
with the sighted shots, it's still the same damage. It just increases my chance to hit.
Okay. So you take another one out. So now 4 of them have been taken out. Many of them have either fallen or partially fallen and clattered down the elevator. So if anyone's down in that elevator checking it out or whatever it is, it might be hurt. And plus you're firing, some of you are firing weapons in the middle of an elevator shaft. It's certainly possible this could be heard. But you've taken 4 of them out as we come to Kill. There's 2 more left. You're as they're kind of warming up their tasers, getting ready to attack you again.
Well, I'm in an awkward position where I don't want to like grab out a weapon, so to speak, because I'm kind of busy with the whole climbing
fall.
thing. So I think I'll have to do the equivalent of like with these 2 bastards hanging off me, like kind of climb towards one with an action, and with my other action, just kick it, or knee it, or elbow it, or whatever.
Sure. Sure. Go ahead. That's funny. Yeah. Give that a roll.
I'm not sure
This
what
is-
the, because I was trying to look.
I think
I see improvised
tactical
weapon
is
is
melee.
like plus
Isn't tac-
1.
I think it should be. I think it's tactical. Don't you use tactical, Dr. T, for your scalpel?
It's exotic.
Exotic. Yeah, you can go ahead and use exotic if you want. Cool.
All
If you're
right.
kicking.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be great at this.
It's okay. It's fun.
I do have the that's my improvised fist.
Oh, okay. 5 and a 4 for the 9 and a 3. So 12. But I end up with a -1. 11.
11 is not enough. This defense is, I think, 13. Let me double check. Make sure I'm not lying. Yeah, defense 13. So you go and you kick it, and I'll say you make contact with it, but you just don't necessarily get enough force on the shove for it to let go and maybe
2
fall.
people.
You're like Andre the Giant from Princess Bride. Is basically what's going on. Okay. All
Just
right,
a
so
boot kind of flails out in a direction.
Yeah.
okay.
Appreciate the cover.
One. Okay. One of them is gonna go ahead and try to fire at. Well, I have a couple different options now to fire at, so it's gonna fire at old Jita Essence. All right, here we go. Oh my god! I just rolled a chuck roll. That's 3 ones and a 2. I just rolled 3 ones and a 2.
Maybe that's the one I kicked.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. That you kick it, it like banks off the wall a little bit. It goes to fire, but it fires like wild, and it misses completely. We'll go back up to Maya then. So Maya, there's two of these things.
I'm gonna sighted shot for both of them for
Okay.
both my actions.
right.
The first one plus my plexus. So that is 16 plus a billion to hit. It's Yes.
No problem.
I think it's like 20 or something. Is 20 or 21.
Okay, that definitely hits. If you do 6 more points of endurance, you should take the second. You take that, and there's one more that's left. So just go ahead and roll another. And as long as you don't like critically fail, it sounds like you'll probably be able to hit it. 13 is what you're looking for. So as long as you don't critically fail this, you should be fine.
Yeah, no, I got a 14 on my base roll with 2 6s, so I will get more than 13 when I add
So
all
from
my
above,
stuff.
2 shots, and you see the last 2.
I haven't rolled damage
disintegrating.
though on either. Do you want me to?
No, you don't roll damage. You shouldn't be rolling damage. Damage should be flat.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. With the side chart, it adds focus. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, you're still fine though. These things don't have a lot of health. So you take 2 more of them out. They explode, or they start to disintegrate, and they start to fall. And now you realize you've taken out these drones. The shaft is clear, but you've just possibly caused some noise down below. So what do we do next? Do we race up to 17,
thanks.
or do you do something else?
Thanks for the cover, Kel. Appreciate it.
Gotta go fast.
Okay.
And then like spider climb up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys start spider climbing up as fast as you can. You get to floor 17. And you're able to bypass that security issue. But you get to floor 17. You have like a couple different options to get in here. Basically, mechanics rolls is probably what's going to make the most sense to try to kind of pry this open, use the mechanic. So if anybody wants to roll that, we'll say we can do that. And the better you do, the faster it'll be done.
Okay.
So
I happen to be very good at mechanics overall.
Yeah.
Good.
3
Don't you don't have 2 people hanging on you.
Fine. Okay. Ooh, okay. So 3, 2, and a 6. I think I'll reroll my 2.
okay.
It keeps me at a 9. Okay. So a 9, another 6 gets me to a 15.
All right.
18.
18 is you get this open incredibly fast. Doors creak open. You have to physically kind of push the last couple inches or so to get your shoulders through because you're so broad-shouldered, Kill. But you get onto the floor itself. You are on floor 17, and you realize immediately there's a very sterile smell to this place. Like you can tell. And when it's also again dimly lit, but you can see as you look kind of down that familiar kind of T-section layout. Whenever you get off the elevators, you kind of peek left, you peek right. You can see there's laboratories every which way. You can see laboratories numbered like 1 to 5 this way. You can see laboratories numbered 6 to 10 that way. You can see laboratories like if you're interested in like laboratories 11 to 15, they're kind of around that corner, etc. So you can see there's just labs everywhere on this particular floor, and the odor in here is extremely sterile. But you can see a handful of labs as you're peeking down the various hallways are lit. So you think there's some people possibly working up here. But immediately you don't see anyone on guard. You don't see anyone moving around. You do get the sense that it's dark and maybe people are working late as opposed to this being like a normal hour. You also notice when you pop out that there are security like cameras and various things pretty much at every corner. Like you pop out, there's one. You look down the T sections, there's one before you curve that way. There's one before you curve that way. So like this is a heavily monitored floor. I would say you probably hear some vague, distant voices of people talking or working here or there, and so like a hum of some machinery here and there. But otherwise, it's kind of quiet. How long that's going to last? Probably not very. But that's what you have. So you know where you're supposed to go. So what's the plan?
4 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I will pull her helmet down low and tilt her head down to be away from cameras, and sort of nudge Gita to do the same and adopt that same sort of stiff back posture we've seen of the Green Cloaks and walk purposefully to Lab 5.
Okay.
As if we're escorting prisoners.
Where do you say, Kill?
Oh, I'm going to be looking for a fire escape.
Okay.
Alternative route out.
Okay.
You don't use an elevator in the event of fire.
All right. So Maya, Jita, it's like you're pretending like you are security and you are taking prisoners. You go up to lab 4, and you kind of hit your security key on the door, which does not work. Jita, you try your security key on the door, which does not work. And so you could hear, and you also see like this weird little flash over it, and it sort of takes on the shape of like a face. You realize it's probably like maybe optical. It's like someone that you lean your head in there, and maybe optical solutions kind of the inside. While you're trying to figure that out, Maya, Jita, Kill, go ahead and give me like an awareness test as you're peeking around. Do you want to leave everybody to go look for something, or are you just looking and passing?
If I've got a good feel for where they're at, I might I'll be aware of like not getting too far away, but I might be willing to like step around a corner and look. I'm not going to like go wandering far away by any means, but
awareness is fine. So Maya, Jita, you're at the door with Dr. T as your prisoner. What are the three of you doing when the door does not immediately open to your initial attempts at scanning inside?
Did it work with Kill's keycard, or that also didn't work?
Oh, you would know for sure that wouldn't work, because he was instructed that all it does is get you in the building. After that, you're on your own.
Okay.
a whopping 13.
Does there seem to be anyone working inside of this particular one? Like, if you put our ear up to the door, does it seem like there's anyone working inside of this
put your
particular
ear
lab?
to the door, and you do hear activity inside. Like, I would say you would hear like there's, at the very least, there's machinery working. Maybe robotics is the way the kind of how it sounds. That's about it. If you want to roll an awareness, though, you could do that. Maybe you can hear something else.
Bro.
I mean, I'm always willing to give it a try. See what happens.
Yeah.
10.
Maybe voices, but you can't really decipher what they might be saying.
Yeah, 11 for me.
Same. Yeah, not quite. Like you think you hear voices underneath the sort of the hum of machinery, but it's hard to discern.
So this is very much the vibes of medical facility here, right?
Looks more like less like medical
Science.
treatment and more like scientific study.
Research.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Making a leap of, logic here. I would look around for like there's got to be some kind of like biocontamination procedure.
Mm-hmm.
See if maybe there's like a station that kind of like, this is the outline, this is what you do. See if maybe we can trick them, like get their information and trick them into coming out, thinking there's some kind of
Okay.
One like that.
Like an emergency, right? That they have to come out with.
Yeah.
This sounds like a computer's test because it sounds like a hack. Sounds like you're trying to hack a system. So this is probably computers.
Okay.
So I was like, give that a rip.
Absolutely.
Is Kill still in sight or around the room?
We'll say he's probably down the hall at a corner, and he's like looking down. Like you can kind of see, you can still see him. You're probably an eye line, but not like you're not immediately next to each other.
I rolled a 1, 2, and a 3, so I'm going to use my last grit for the night.
God dang, Chuck.
There's a 6, a 6, and a 2. And I'll tell you what, I'll use one of those 6s to re-roll that 2.
Good grit.
And it's still a 2.
15 is still excellent.
15's good. Yeah.
Still an excellent roll. We'll say that nearby you find a console that looks like, and what you're saying about like sort of like a decontamination, there's probably some kind of like the sort of public restroom area, and there's like a washout thing. And so you managed to kind of hack into the floors security system for a bit, or at least actually no, probably more like the floor's like announcement system, like the PA system or
Sure.
something like that. And you just trigger the automated like contamination evacuation kind of thing. And at least on the floor itself, klaxons start going. And so you can see that please evacuate and follow procedure F6B, blah, 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 blah. Doors start to open here and there because it's probably not just the singular laboratory that gets it, but multiple start to get it here and there, including the door that Jita and Maya are by. Kill, you're at a different hallway. You kind of see some other things. You see a couple doors. Some of them don't open. Some of them do. Like I said, it's scattered. There's maybe some teams that are probably working tonight. So Maya and Jita, what were you doing? Were you doing anything like in anticipation of Dr. T? Like, is there something that you were attempting to do, the two of you?
I would like to kind of drag Jeter to some kind of like around the corner cover or whatever, so that when people like run out of the room, they don't immediately see us, and we can kind of just deke in the room together.
Okay, so you're just going to kind of hide down the hall somewhere. Okay.
Grab the door
just
before it closes again.
somewhere, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So you're close enough to kind of block the door before it closes completely. And I'll say that happens. Like, it's kind of like the three of you work together, you time it. Dr. T is letting you know when it's triggered. And so you kind of are hiding. Maybe there's a water cooler you're hiding behind and like some sort of like strange plastic plant. And the two of you are there. Everything's fine. And then the doors open up and you see these two people, definitely scientist types. They got lab coats on. They're carrying their tablets and stuff with you. And they're like, just like, what the hell is going on? Is this some sort of drill again? Who the hell drills? We're not even supposed to be on the clock right now. Why are they? God, this is ridiculous. As they start bitching and moaning as they're moving past. Maya, Jita, you slip inside. You see that there is a room filled with, it's a fairly large lab. You can see that there is like a centralized study chamber where there's like these big old mechanical arms that probably accounted for what you heard on the inside. There appears to be a display in the middle, a platform in the middle, like an experimentation platform, where there looks to be all this kind of stringy, partially sort of dissected or partially like ripped apart pieces of large fungal stalks. You might have seen a few of these out in the jungle, but they're kind of like split apart here and there into these long fibers. And you see that there are also holding tanks. Very much like Star Wars back to tank style stuff, where you can see that there are, of the 5 that are in this room, there are 5 people inside, but there's only one that's a Legion. Everyone else is like, you can see it's mostly Corp, and you probably see like a Kaltoran as well. But other than that, there's one that's Legion. What do you want to do?
First, I think we should give a shout out to them Raiders, Interpoint Station. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even notice. Thank you for that raid. Appreciate that so much, Interpoint Station. I think Melissa already hit the shout out. We are playing Fragged Empire. We are trying to break into a facility and steal a man who might be infected with a very dangerous fungal infection.
Good choices. Good choices.
Might.
Yeah, sure, it'll be fine.
Might
Definitely.
be.
Definitely not going to let you guys.
And so here we are. And so we've smashed and now we grab. So now we gotta grab the Legion and
No,
go.
we have to grab.
Exactly.
Does the Legion look like our Legion?
Yeah, you guys actually did have him for a bit. You'd be able to recognize his face. You can see
Yeah.
him for sure. Like, this is the guy. You can see that he is fully in the nude, but he has various like tubes and such. He's got that kind of breathing mask over top of him here and there, that kind of thing. So he's not currently, but he's just kind of floating in some kind of sterilized liquid. Do you just smash and grab? Do you literally just smash the
Honestly,
tank?
unless Dr. T or unless her they like say not to, like that's what Maya's thinking she's gonna do. So
Once
she's like got her elbow up.
Yeah, once I catch up, I would definitely be looking for some kind of secure environment transportation, like if they've got something like that we could.
She'll back down when she sees her T's. Look at
So you come into the room, Dr. T. Maya's got a pipe in her hand. It's like, oh! And
I mean,
exactly.
it could be interesting to see what happens when you do that. let me close the door first.
Should we just
Okay.
move him in that and then figure that out later?
Does his containment unit move?
No, that looks to be fixed. Yeah, you can see that like
Okay.
he's probably entered from above. There's like a little like wheeled ladder that can probably be moved around to kind of pick him out of, or you could literally just crack it on the side. It looks to just be glass. That's what you want to do. It would flood the room a bit, but like you could.
Who cares? That's fine. This is a terrible idea. This is a terrible idea.
It's entertaining.
Cheetah's like climbing the stairs to see if we can like grab him up that way.
Yeah. So when you climb up, like Cheetah, you can see that there's no like there's basic controls on here. What you can probably tell, like this is probably a little bit more advanced. Like it's not like a true stasis chamber like you would have on a ship. There's definitely something else going on here. But it's got similar enough mechanics in that it's definitely got a locking mechanism, but it's from the outside. Like it's locking the target inside. So you can easily bypass that. Like that's not like a thing that even requires much effort. It doesn't even require a roll. And you can, if you want, you can open it up almost like a submarine, like kind of like a submarine opens up.
Yeah.
And you can see first, you are hit by just a terrible stench, as whatever that is not just basic water. It smells like sewage almost. The man does not seem to be conscious, so he's still just kind of floating there. And there's a couple inches worth of space between the lid and where that liquid starts. He's got plenty of tubes going into them. It seems to be like vitals, like mouth for breather. Might even be like around the waist and stuff for like, for waste. That kind of thing.
So Cheetah is going to like reach for each of those tubes and then look to Dr. T for like the yes or no to like which ones to pull out.
I mean, they're all connected to the machine. Everything's got to come out. I mean,
okay. And so she's going in there. She's
You
just
unplug
connecting
everything.
tubes.
Consoles start
If
lighting
there's
up.
no finesse needed, Maya's helping.
yeah. I mean,
Just-
it's like Christmas. Just let it
Yeah.
go.
You're just pulling the tubes out without a problem. No issues whatsoever. And you can definitely tell
before Kill goes back.
consoles are going crazy. They were tracking, you can see like various, like Dr. T would probably notice immediately. It was just sort of like they were keeping track of vitals and things like that. You specifically asked if there was any kind of transport. You do notice that there are drawers nearby that have like personal effects associated with the various labels of the tanks, because each tank has a specific patient label. It's like a alphanumerical code as opposed to a person's name, but the code matches up to drawers. When you pull open the drawer that's associated with this guy, you do in fact find kind of that folded up quarantine bag that like they had put him in when they brought him here. That is here.
Okay. I'm going to call for Kill because we'll need his help getting this dude in the bag. While you all are disconnecting and Kill's getting him in the bag, Hard T spent some time in bio research labs. There's usually a specimen disposal system of some form, and maybe we could use that as a shortcut to get out.
That's exactly what I was going to tell Kill that he saw. Kill didn't find any kind of fire escape or anything like that. And from what you understood about the actual building itself, there weren't any that you could tell. But you did find medical waste chutes that maybe you saw something like that when you came in through like the sub basement and everything. And in each individual room, there are all these little medical waste and things like that you put it in, and then they're wheeled over and they're pushed down to this large chute. It's certainly possible that could work. Might take you all the way down, but God knows what other weird infectious things might have also gone down in there and where you're going to land.
Is that where we're going, Doc?
Let's go there. I mean, anything you might get going down that chute, I'm sure I've got a vaccine for back in the ship.
Well, I mean, we do need to get out of here because we've already gassed some guards and taken out some drones. And so the quickest way out is probably the best way out.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Kill, I'm going to say that you've been on kind of like an overwatch position by the door, looking here and there. You hear the elevators open up, and it's down the hall and around the corner from you, but you can hear the sounds of heavy footfalls. You can hear the sounds of like people giving orders to one another. You think the security team has finally arrived. There's a lot of weird shit going on in the building, and they're kind of coming up here at this point. So you do think that you are not alone in terms of like there was just scientists in a bunch here, but you think a security team might be up here. So
Well, that kind of seals it then. It's the gross way out.
okay, so we'll say all of you come over to this waste disposal. You got the body. You shove him down, goes all the way down, and all of you will
Okay.
hop in.
Yep.
I would like everybody to make we're gonna make this probably just physical. Yeah, let's just do
Okay.
physical.
No.
Everybody make a physical difficulty 14 test to go down.
I
Oh
am
my
going to
gosh.
spend an audience thing.
Yeah, so my.
I don't even know if it's possible for me.
This isn't about whether you get down this medical chute. You're gonna get down just fine. It's just a question of whether you get injured along the way, you get something happens to you, or you land on something that you shouldn't have. And suddenly you're in a bucket full of weird, dirty needles.
Well,
Who knows?
That's why we put the body down first. He'll collect all the syringes
oh, no.
on the way down.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
15.
I got a 9.
Kill.
14.
You're okay. Maya, you're okay. Both of you managed to get down. You land on top of the body, roll off to the side. You are very much in a medical waste dumpster. You can see there's bags, liquids, all sorts of things that has not yet been collected. It is nasty. You're able to pull the body out of the dumpster, and then Jita and Dr. T come down next. Jita, how did you do?
7.
You land, and it hurts. You're going to take some damage. For some reason, Kill and Maya move the body, the cushiony body that you're supposed to land. What? Total assholes. I know what technically I did, but whatever. You're gonna take some sharp damage. So this is gonna be
Oh no.
yeah, this is gonna be 2 points to we'll make it a random attribute.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 points to a random attribute as you come down. Let me pull up my random attribute table.
Oh, sorry.
did you already
I just
do it?
rolled.
No, if you did,
I
it's
rolled
fine.
I rolled a 6, and 6
grit.
is
Grit.
yeah.
Okay,
Crap.
so 2 points to grit. 2 points damage to grit. All right, Dr. T, how did you do coming down?
I got a 9.
All right, same deal. That's a fail. You're going to also grit. So both of you,
Okay.
as you come down, it is just utter nasty, disgusting filth. And maybe like in the grand scheme of things, maybe you didn't break anything or really get infected by anything, but you're so coated and covered in it that this paranoia sets in that something you just got infected by something. Something's gonna happen. Your skin's gonna crawl off, and so you get this like sort of psychosomatic response, and maybe that's why your grit has been reduced. Okay,
All right.
you are back in. You took the quick way down. You're back in that sort of underground parking garage. You can see that there's activity down here. And so this is basically the last, you just have one more little obstacle and then you're home free, sort of. So you've got, when you look over at the security gate, you can see that somebody else is there now. There's a handful of people kind of lingering around. One of them is like up against the wall and they're doing like the smelling salt thing. And you can kind of hear the whole like, yeah, there's some Twifar lady. And then there was a, God, Maya, high or low?
Low.
Okay. And then there was, I don't know, some corp lady, because I was going to say, if you had failed, they're going to be like, I could have
I knew
sworn it
it.
was Divine Mocha, but no. But they're like it's just some corp
I was
lady.
kind of honestly really hoping him.
Like, she looked real familiar. Oh,
She'd
but I
be
couldn't
like
place
weirdly
her.
proud of it. She's like, you
They knew
guys
me.
believe the pregnancy?
But
Guys,
they
remember to like and subscribe.
there she is. Get her. But yeah, you hear them describing Maya and Jita basically, and they didn't see Kill or Dr. T, so they don't know anything about that. But they did mention Maya and Jita, and also they don't have any clothes on. They always had like they have like the classic undies on, so they know that uniforms have been taken. So last obstacle, guys, and then you guys are out and we're done for the night. What do you do to get out of here? How do you get out of here?
I mean, do we A, just steal a vehicle and ram through, or do we B, just scream that there's been an outbreak? Like pretending like there's some sort of horrible like zombie nonsense and like run for your lives?
Oh,
Or we do a flashback that we like hired a van to pick us up and we'd have a ride waiting for us.
Love it. Yeah, let's
That's a lot more
let's say we have a flashback.
that's way more
of, like,
responsible. I was just thinking
having
with
a
all this.
getaway car.
You flashback. Zatek is waiting with the car.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
That's where he's been
And
this whole
Boars
time.
is Boars in the front?
Boars always rides shotgun. Yeah, he doesn't
Amazing.
like
Wow,
to
Walker.
They're definitely having a talk on the nature of existence.
Okay, I am going to. So we'll say I'm not going to require a roll, but I will. I do want to require a spare time point from somebody because you're renting another truck, and so your last
I will
one didn't come back
happily
too well.
spend it.
Okay.
I actually have a bonus from a couple things for spare time, like for my gunner armor or something. Fashionable, my fashionable mod on my armor gives me an additional spare time point.
Okay, so
I'm happy to spend
okay,
that.
so you have the truck. So then, I guess my last question is then: is he inside waiting to get you guys inside the? Is he already inside, or is he outside? Because if he's still outside the parking garage, you still have the whole I got to get out. We have to get outside this place. Like we got to bypass the security. Or are we saying that there was something he was going to do, like he's parked outside, but he's going to cause a distraction or something? Like what do we think? What do we think he does?
We just lean into it. And I'm already carrying the dead, like, Legion body. And you just say, oh, God, it's a Legion zombie outbreak. Rah! And I'll use my leadership to be all intimidating behind you. I don't know. I
I'm more than happy to have you do that.
No,
I just
know.
see no reason on earth why they wouldn't just turn and literally unload their weapons on you.
I know.
Yeah,
This
it's a well run. The
Could
well
we-
run
I feel like
machinery of
Zatek
this.
as a character is like pretty meticulous, and
Sure.
I don't think that he would do the same guns blazing bullshit that we all have just done.
Probably not.
I think he'd actually plan, like being the getaway driver. So I think he would have a distraction planned ahead of time
Okay.
and shit.
Which maybe that was just to remind Dr. T that we'll probably need 2 of those smoke grenades.
I
Hell yeah.
I honestly, that's the thought that I was waiting to get out there. It's like, can we say just that I had
Okay.
2 of them?
Amazing.
You did so well on the
Hey,
roll. I
that's
think you were like
the
a 20.
distraction.
So
Yeah.
we'll say like we look outside and like you guys are kind of hiding and you're waiting. You're seeing this dude, security crew, like they're talking, like they're really pissed off. You can
Yeah.
even see the woman from the checkpoint that gave you guys so much shit. Like, how could you possibly do that? Come on now. And then like what they don't notice is there's like a little van that just kind of pulls back. You see it drives. You see a window kind of come down. You see that there's a beautiful little pink mushroom. And then from behind that pink mushroom, you just see this little canister comes flying out with this drive-by canister and just ding, ding, ding. And she's, how could you possibly fall for something so freaky? Thump. And then they all fall. And you manage to move right past them. They're all asleep on top of one another. You load the bodies in the back of this van, this crappy van, because the guy's not giving you a nice truck anymore. So you have this crappy, nasty van.
It's an
And-
Astro van.
It's an Astro van.
Yeah.
that works the best. Look at you. And then we'll close it there as you guys drive away with alarms blaring, security in full force, everything kind of going as that place is going nuts. They haven't probably deduced yet exactly what was taken. And we'll say you get the hell out of there, and as fast as you possibly can, you're probably going to get your ship off that damn landing pad and off the plane. But we'll pick
Very
that
quickly.
up next time. Okay.
Ooh.
Amazing.
All right. That'll work.
Mine definitely leads into killing the it. Like, all right, that was pretty awesome, though.
Oh, goodness. All right. That was fun.
That was amazing.
Nobody's bleeding. That was like an incredible success.
I mean, you guys didn't kill anybody. Like, because I was like, they didn't kill anybody.
It was a
Look at that.
very
Yeah.
peaceful.
Yeah,
Pretty
good.
That's about as like good as that was gonna get. I
You
was
killed some
sincerely
drones, but
worried
whatever.
Just some drones.
Yeah.
Just some
when
drones.
Gita got caught, and then Maya too. I was like, "Oh God, we're just gonna shoot this whole place."
Going
For a
in.
moment,
Yeah.
I sincerely thought we were just gonna have to kill everybody.
It was
like,
that was so
Oh,
much
God. Boy, your Vulp agent would not have liked that at all, too. Like,
No.
do you understand what, covert means? Oh, God. All right.
No.
fun. Isn't that one of those words that have two meanings?
All right. Let's go ahead and do some closing plugs. We got out of here. So we'll start with Jeremy. Jeremy, tell us about his Patreon.
Yeah, Aaron Reese on Patreon. You've got comics, maps, tokens, fun stuff. Check it out.
Perfect. My Trey, where can we find you on the internet?
When I'm not forcing myself to put, on these guys, I'm multiplayer games on YouTube. You should check me out if you're into like system agnostic tabletop stuff.
Perfect. And Chuck, what's going on with DOK this week?
Let's see. Wednesday, we're doing more of our Night Below campaign using Dungeon Crawl Classics. And Friday, we're doing more of the Walking Dead universe, the Free League Publishing game. So yeah,
Fantastic.
that's what we got.
All right, for us here, next game's tomorrow night. We got some Marvel Multiverse RPG. We got some giveaways going on. If you're in Twitch chat right now and you would like an opportunity to win a Demiplane access to Marvel, you can go over to our YouTube page right now. Adventures in Lollygagging, find the most recent Marvel Multiverse episode and drop a comment on that video. You can get entered in to getting one of those codes. And then we're going to also give another one away live on tomorrow night's stream. So come back tomorrow night, same time that we played this game, and you have an opportunity to get another one of those Demiplane codes. Demiplane has actually been really useful for Marvel. We do a lot of Foundry stuff here, and I definitely love Foundry, but like there's really no way to play Marvel Multiverse on Foundry, and Demiplane has been very, very useful for us. And then after that, Thursday, we got Werewolf, the Apocalypse. You can see Jeremy, you can see Melissa, you can see myself, and you can see a whole lot of weird young hippies. It's pretty great. And then that's it for us because we're going to take the weekend off. It's holiday weekend, so no Friday, no Saturday, and no Monday or Tuesday next week either. Christmas lands on a Monday, so we're not going to have Monster of the Week probably. And then Tuesday we're going to be off as well for Marvel. So we're taking basically a long weekend is what it sounds like. So go check out DOK and have a little fun watching that Walking Dead stuff. We'll see you later. Thanks again. Hang on, let me get the name. What the name?
It was started with an I.
Thank you again to Interpoint Station for the raid. And make sure all of you go ahead and get up over on Drive-Thru RPG and check out Sedna, the Pirate Republic of the Ort Cloud. We're going to go ahead and raid someone. I haven't picked it out yet. I usually do. I'm not prepared. So, night.